This session I'm very happy, is a start really to look into those business models and also the factors that can help those business models flourish. We have a very packed program. Our objectives are, first of all, understanding what these business models are. So we have the real businesswomen, businessmen among us. But most importantly, we have from MacArthur Foundation, our colleague Sven Herrmann, who is doing business analysis in this topic to, first of all, give us an overview. After looking into some examples, we are going to do group work on the enabling factors. The enabling factors, we listed down to 5. And it was a pre-work. We had some discussions, especially with colleagues from the Catalan Waste Agency who are sitting over there. So they're our co-hosts, and I thank you very much for all the work for preparation. And we can see all the boards that are prepared there, from financing schemes, from, for example, partnerships to, of course, regulatory incentives. We are going to discuss. What we would like to show is a few different businesses. For example, I would like to invite Ines here from Collecton. She's one of the switchers, actually. She's going to tell us about their e-waste business. I would like to also invite Ferda Ulutaş from Turkish Technology Development Foundation. And she's going to share with us another type of business model that they are working with, industrial symbiosis. Please take a seat. And another lady, Silvia, I'm looking for. Yes, please, Silvia, join us. Also, Silvia is going to tell us about the fashion business she's doing. It's a bit unusual, related to the circular economy. And finally, Alfredo, if you can join us, Alfredo, from Zicla. And it's one of the most favorite examples we have that is really taking waste from many different sectors and putting it back to the economy. So we would like to hear from our panel different types of feedback, especially maybe this part of the panel on the left is giving us examples from the north of Mediterranean, and the other side is from the south of Mediterranean. So we can see also a bit of a picture what's happening on both sides. If I can start with Alfredo, let me give you the mic so you can intervene. Alfredo, some of us maybe they have seen your presentation in the morning. Can you tell us how you came up with the idea of your business and what's the business model you are implementing?
Okay, in fact, when we began 10 years ago, we have another idea in our minds. We thought that we were going to create a center to centralize recycled products from everywhere in the country and then to offer to the market. But then we realized that it was much better to develop our own products. At the same time, we developed another business line, which is assessment and advisement to companies which have waste in order they could divert from landfills to the industry as raw materials. So both lines of business lines have synergies between, and sometimes we use the waste we identify in the first one, in the second one, producing the new recycled products.
So identification of the waste flows was the first maybe starting point for you?
Yes, of course. We realized that there was a real treasure in the waste, and there were a lot of business opportunities if you could afford them.
Great, thank you. And this links maybe to Ines' business as well, because Ines has seen an opportunity, if I can take the mic, also in the e-waste area. So can you tell us what is your small business is about? I think you have only 7 workers. It's a very, very small workshop, right?
Yes, that's right. So I'm from Tunisia, and I have a recycling in electronic waste company. We are certified from the ministry. Of course, we have 7 workers, but since 2009, we recycled more than 395 tons of e-waste. And this project is good because I want to make some money like everybody, but I can do it in an eco-friendly way.
How do you gather your raw materials? There is an opportunity, but how it's difficult to manage the logistics. How do you do it?
How we collected, first of all, institution in Tunisia have to recycle their old equipment. They have to give it to a certified company. So we have a huge quantity. After that, we have a multinational like Samsung, Cisco, and in the past it was Nokia and HP, and they have politique environnementale, and they have to do the same work that they do in Europe. They have to do it in Tunisia. They are responsible of their e-waste in end of life. And we make also awareness campaign, and we collected in industrial area some e-waste.
Very interesting. So basically the Electronics Waste Directive in Europe, in a way, was the driver for your business in the south.
Yes.
This we have seen also in Asia, for example, with the GIZ projects, and you are also working with GIZ as far as I know.
Yes.
So it's interesting how the EU law has an impact, maybe, somewhere in the south of Mediterranean.
Yes, we made this PPP with the GIZ 1 year ago. We did it in industrial area, and we collected. We made this awareness campaign, and we collected about 50 tons of e-waste in 6 months. It was with GIZ Foundation. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, very interesting. What about other sectors? Because, of course, we know e-waste is a huge problem in all of our countries. But in the fashion business, it's usual, not so unusual, or is it usual now going into circular economy? Because we even hear H&M now is exploring circular economy options. We are going to talk about it tomorrow in the Market Links session. But Silvia, tell us, what is your brand? And if I can pass you the mic.
Thank you.
How do you come up with the idea, and how are you developing it?
Well,
Let me put up your slides so you can also talk about the brand.
Good afternoon. I'm Silvia Calvo. BCN is our trademark. Also a part of the Association of Moda Sostenible Barcelona. And what we, particularly what I do is recycle or upcycle, because we give it a higher value to coffee bags. It is said that one of the most sustainable materials is that one that already exists. If we look around, and there's a lot of waste, and as you said before, some waste is a treasure for others. So if we help the environment to use all these things that go to a waste at a moment, we make their life longer, and we help it to give it another use. In my case, for example, I use coffee bags. So this is original coffee bags where they have been transported from Vietnam, Uganda, Costa Rica, all these places that are coffee producers. It has that use of transportation. Now, in order to, one of the parts of the innovation also is also creativity that comes into play here. And we try to say, well, what if I use this material that is already existing and I give it another use that we didn't think of it at the very beginning? The life of that coffee bag when it's empty at the warehouse is done. And we want to enlarge and give it a different use. So
the
what
pictures that we are
the-
saying.
Yeah. So what if we bring it to treat it like if it were silk, that coffee bag, and we create something that it can be very beautiful that we never thought before, with waste. And in the fashion industry, we are seeing more examples. Mine is coffee bags, but this morning when meeting the switchers, we saw one of the switchers doing bags with the tubes, with another one with plastic bags, and other recycled materials. Also, we have already, if we keep with this linear economy that we take, we make, and we dispose, that creates a lot of waste, mountains of waste. So we need to go to the circular economy and bring that product back into the cycle, keeping their value.
Great, thank you very much. So maybe the volume of this kind of material is not huge, but it's a great example of also using creativity.
You will be surprised how
in
many
circle-
coffee bags are there.
Exactly. And in fact, with Fashion Association in Barcelona,
Yes.
of which Sylvia is part of, we're working together to get more switchers, more examples, and
Yes.
tomorrow evening we will have a sustainable fashion catwalk of all these examples from all over Mediterranean. This is another industry example, but now if we look at Turkey, perhaps those cases are also there, some niche examples. But Ferda, you're looking into a totally different area, maybe from regional perspective. What can we do at the regional level, not at the product level or the design level? And you are running projects in several cities in the industrial symbiosis area. And that's also an area that UNIDO has been intensely looking at. It is a great example of business models that we can learn from. How is the status, and how come that you could create so much appetite for industrial symbiosis?
Thank you. Actually, I should say that industrial symbiosis was a blank page in Turkey before maybe 2010. Then it all started with a corporate social responsibility project of a crude oil pipeline company in the Iskenderun Bay area. Maybe we can show our slide. Iskenderun Bay is in the southern part of Turkey. It is the terminal area of the BTC pipeline. And it is, of course, energy and industry concentrated area with agriculture and husbandry as the other major sectors. So it's clear that there's high potential for industrial symbiosis in the region. After a one-year feasibility phase, the implementation phase started in 2011, and the project lasted more than 3 years. Yes, you can see there, the region also, the Mediterranean. And the BTC company supported the project financially. And my foundation, TTGV, was the implementing agency of the project. I think the project is quite unique in the sense that it's directly a private sector initiative in this area. And it was financed through private resources. And the objective was twofold. First, to apply industrial symbiosis in the region to improve the region in terms of environment and economy. And in addition to that, to develop an infrastructure for a national program. And we really had extensive outcomes from the project. One of the most maybe concrete outcomes was the demonstration of pilot projects. And yeah, this slide. Demonstration of an industrial symbiosis application network in which we have different sectors and flows of wastes, materials. And an example from this network can be the bioremediation material production from a cottonseed waste. It was also quite unique. And this is now, there is a plant in Adana because we showed that this material is successful in alleviating oil contamination from soil. So now there is a plant in Adana near the cottonseed facility producing this material on a commercial scale. And this is my last slide. You can see the achievements, gains of the 8 pilot projects which were proven to be feasible during the project period. The first table is the environmental and efficiency related gains. The second one, social and cooperation related benefits. And the last table shows the economic aspect very simply. The overall payback period is about 1 year. At least we can say it is less than 2 years if we are on the safe side. So I think this is a part of a success story from our project.
Yeah, the spectrum. Now we go from designers to cleaner production, maybe moving further to closing the loop kind of applications. So the type of business models we get in the Mediterranean are quite wide range. So let's talk about the challenges, and we're all motivated to make this happen. We are almost all entrepreneurs, but what are the challenges we are facing? I would like to say that in the room we have also experts later on who are going to respond to these challenges as the second part of the panel. I'm going to invite them here, so they are going to now listen to what you'll be saying and tell us whether there are already some solutions or what is being planned. If I can ask, for example, Alfredo. Alfredo himself, in fact, worked in a research institute. I know that training entrepreneurs himself, and you are now an entrepreneur yourself. What are the biggest challenges, or maybe the top 2, that you should say the intermediaries or programs like us should address? We are seeing all the factors around us: regulation, financing. Tell us what is the most important, or maybe 2 most important issues we should be working on.
I should talk about my company, which is our greatest challenge in this moment, is to get bigger. And one of the ways to get bigger is to increase the selling of recycled products here in Spain, in Catalonia and Spain, and also in other countries. So internationalization is the big issue, and now we are trying to export our model to other parts of the world. At this moment, we are exporting our products. Which products you may think about? We produce solutions for the city, for mobility and accessibility and traffic, like bus border platforms, like cycle track separators, and we're exporting them to other parts of the world. But does not make sense from the circular economy point of view. The idea is to have factories in other countries that could reproduce our business model in order to produce there with waste and produce our products, but in other countries using the local waste. Well, this challenge needs money, of course. So one of our, what do we need are investors to do this. Of course, we are a small, medium enterprise here, and we don't have enough possibilities to do this alone.
Actually, there's going to be a financing instrument session after this, and it's one of the challenges that they should be addressing.
Sure.
You're saying,
Do you have the
whether
knowledge?
they understand your business or not.
Oh, not necessarily they do understand. We do understand about this business. We do what we have to do, but we do not have money to do this. So this is the main
Access
challenge
to
at this
funds.
moment. Yes.
All right. Is this the same for you, Ines? Would you say? To grow your workshop, if you get access to more flows of raw material, more waste in a way.
in Tunisia, we can recycle locally more than 90% of the electronic waste. 7% are exported to Germany. And we have the 3% which are battery, lithium and lithium ion. And you have a big problem with this battery because we cannot export it. We have to pay for it to recycle it out of Tunisia overseas. And we need solution for that. We need solution for material that we cannot sell, but that we have to recycle and give a right solution, and not to throw it in a landfill.
What
It's our
about
problem?
what about building partnerships in that regard? Have you considered international partnerships?
Yes, yes, we need to have a partnership in our field, of course, in recycling a battery, and we need technical support to know how to storage and to export it conformément to the Basel Convention, because it's specific
Requirements?
yes, and for exportation. Voilà.
Talking about that kind of development support or partnerships, maybe it's interesting to look at your case, Silvia, because you are joining, if I could give you the mic, you're joining forces in the Sustainable Fashion Association. Are there common issues that you want to address? What kind of pathways you want to take in order to grow this kind of business? Maybe do it your daily business because you're doing it maybe part-time.
Too many things, huh? Yes, within, well, sustainability is a line also for opportunities. And a lot of the designers are of very small. And with the association, we found that joining forces have given us a voice to be heard, to make enough noise to draw attention. And this collaboration and association has been very, very important, and it also is one of the trends that we have. A lot of the little designers that belong to our association, we're facing, of course, a lot of the same issues. One of the issues, like here, our colleague, is also the support, not only of the local entities that can help us to make the sustainable fashion more reachable to the rest of the population. Having also help from the institutions to get the certifications that are also very, very expensive also will help us to get all these things straight out.
In terms of getting the certification, the standards in place, is there any such standard coming up, maybe in Turkey, to help you also replicate industrial symbiosis, or the policy framework is very weak because you started this pilot through private initiative? How do you see the policy support?
Yeah, as I said, our Scandurum project created extensive outcomes in terms of visibility, awareness raising. It also created some impacts on governmental strategies and plans. Most of the regional development agencies in Turkey integrated industrial symbiosis into the regional development plans. In addition, our Ministry of Industry also underlined industrial symbiosis in the national strategy for efficiency. So such developments, I think, due to these developments, new initiatives started in Turkey, new symbiosis projects started in Turkey. Now, as CTGV, we are implementing 3 different industrial symbiosis projects, and they involve 7 provinces, 7 different provinces. So it's a very good opportunity to join together the partners, local actors, and to understand their approach.
Thank you very much. So we have collected already there, I think, on the board, a few of the points that you mentioned and also our experts. So I would like to now thank you very much and go on with the other part of the panel. You can either stay here or maybe go back to your places. Thank you very much. What I want to do is to invite Pilar Chiva, the Director of the Prevention and Fostering Recycling Area from Waste Agency of Catalonia. Pilar and her team, they are helping likes of Alfredo to enhance their businesses. But how? And the challenges that are mentioned just in the previous panel, what is planned from your side? Can you share with us?
Yeah, thank you, Burcu. It's working? Yeah? Hello?
It's working.
Is it? Okay.
It's working?
I would like to have the answers to all these needs, all these challenges, but unfortunately, I don't have it all, but I have some ideas. As you said, I come from the waste agency, Catalan Waste Agency from the regional government. So, in fact, most of our common activities, such as the prevention, the recycling, the application of EPR, for example, are directly related to the promotion of circular economy. So, it's in our reason to be, in fact, the circular economy. But I will give you some more specific examples of our activities. This vocation for the circular economy is reflected in our program. We have a program for 2020 that is now a program for waste and resources, and not only a program for waste as the previous one. So we are really dedicated to the promotion of circular economy. We also have, as a Catalan government, a strategy for the promotion of green and circular economy, and another strategy for the promotion of eco-design. So now entering into specific tools, I would like to highlight some of them. First of all, I will go through the dissemination. I'm sorry, but this is moving.
Is it going now?
Yeah.
Would you like to use
Maybe.
this one?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's okay? Thank you. Dissemination instruments. Well, you can hear me, I guess. First of all, I would like to talk about the Catalonia Eco-Design Award. As you may know, tonight we will give the awards of this Catalan Eco-Design Award. You are all invited to the ceremony that will take place this evening. Since 2001, that's quite a long time ago, we are organizing this kind of awards. First of all, it was devoted to design for recycling, and now we have widened the scope for the eco-design. Maybe I will take this one. Yeah. It will be easier. Okay. So we want to promote eco-design and to help companies and designers to be more aware of these eco-design tools. So this year we have received almost 200 candidatures, and 45 of them were from the Euro-Mediterranean category, so from countries from the Mediterranean area. Zicla was one of the winners in several occasions, so we are very happy to have here Alfredo. Another dissemination instrument that I would like to explain to you is the Buy Recycled network. We have a network that tries to connect the suppliers and the demanders of recycled products. We think it's a gap. There's a gap between the offer and the demand of this kind of products, and we try to increase the knowledge between them. We also have some financial instruments that I think it's quite interesting for businesses, for companies. We have grants for investment in prevention and eco-design projects. And one interesting thing I consider is that these funds, last year, they came directly from funds coming from the landfill tax. I mean, the money that the companies, landfill tax for industrial waste. So the money that the companies are paying for the landfill tax are directed to funds for recycling, prevention, and eco-design projects. I think it's quite interesting. And also in collaboration with Acció, that's the Catalan authority in the promotion of innovation that is already here, Acció. We have developed, and our department we have developed, the eco bonds. That's a way to facilitate the access to specialized consulting services to companies, especially in circular economy or eco-design. I'm already fine. Okay, some other projects, for example, the promotion of byproducts. Byproducts is an important way to promote the valorization of waste here in Catalonia. Since 1993, we have this legal figure of the byproducts. And as an example, last year it represented 200,000 tons of industrial waste that were reused by other industries as a raw material. We have already started, we have also a pilot project on industrial symbiosis in Manresa. We just started some months ago, and we are trying to involve around 500 companies, so we are hoping to have nice results. And in general, we are open to participate in projects of circular economy. We are part of 2 networks. I think it will be interesting to talk about this a little bit. For example, we are part of this MacArthur Foundation that I hope later we will recover them, and no, maybe. And we are also part of the Circular Europe Network. That's a network of cities and regions in ACR+ that is devoted also to the promotion of circular economy. I will not speak more, and maybe it's better to have a debate.
Thank you very much, Pilar, for sharing all this with us. I think it's to understand what kind of policy tools are available. So that was very useful. It's interesting, as you said, to hear the funds that are earmarked coming from the tax to going to the circular economy examples. Thank you. And you also mentioned the ACR Plus, the Circular Europe Network, and that brings me first to Jean-Jacques. And Jean-Jacques Don is from Circular Europe Network, and they have a long name, Association of Cities and Regions for Recycling and Sustainable Resource Management. I'm giving you the mic as well. If you can share with us at the regional level, maybe more at the Mediterranean level, because we heard about the Catalonia as a region. What are the activities you are having? What helps can switchers get from you? Maybe even Ines.
Thank you for giving me the floor. Thank you, Pilar, for presenting us, so I don't have to do it myself. Now, I will not talk about the northern activities, but about the southern activities. Who is representing southern countries here of the Mediterranean? So not that many. Anyway, that's what I'm going to tell you. What we are doing actually is we run a number of projects in Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. What I would like the audience to understand is that circular economy is not something that has been invented in the north, but rather, I believe, in the Mediterranean. When you go and walk into the cities, into different places, you will find out everything you want to know about repair, reuse, recycle, much more than we do. However, it is not known by the people on the top, people in the administration, politicians, etc. Why? Someone has the answer. Why don't they know this? Because it's the informal sector. The informal sector has a strength in the southern countries that is not known. And I believe that the current governments in those countries, rather than being sometimes hostile, they tolerate sometimes, but I believe they should embrace the informal sector and work together with them. And that's exactly what we are doing in Rabat. Rabat is the capital of Morocco. We work in the field at the end of the waste stream, at the landfill, where we have created a kind of, how should I say, a sorting center, where the old collectors picking up the waste on the landfill have been put in the sorting center, giving them all the equipment for baling, for shredding, for compacting, and giving them a decent life, giving them less harassment, less, how should I say, better sanitary conditions, etc. On the other hand, you don't have only end of pipe, but you also have people working upstreams, which means in the cities, the people who are collecting from trucks, dumpsters, from everywhere in the city. And now that's the last project that we have. And we run this project with Brussels Capital Region, who has a development cooperation initiative. And we get money from them to do a diagnosis. And in this diagnosis that we did in Rabat, we came across this kind of, how should I say, repair kind of shops who are 2 meters by 2, and where you see people, Ines, you talk about electronic waste. Well, there they do a lot of repair, reuse, and at the end, what they cannot reuse and repair, they send for recycling. We will create, with all the informal collectors, we have created an association, ANAYA, which means success. We have, with them, created a cooperative, and together with l'École nationale des industries minières, they have created a kind of technique which will replace a technique that is done by Umicore, a big company in Belgium, where they can extract themselves in Morocco the rare and precious metals in the electronic waste, and create by this opportunities for small businesses to work and to make a living out of this. So in a nutshell.
Thank you very much. So also related to job creation and development support, like the maybe close to the Switch project. But until now, the policy support I was hearing, I don't know you, but it's really after waste is created, how to bring it back to the economy. What is interesting, maybe what we heard from Silvia, also design from the beginning might have a role. And for this, I want to ask Nicola, maybe to comment. Nicola Cerantola is a senior expert in sustainable design and circular economy. Nicola is also the SwitchMed Green Entrepreneurship Trainers team. So he's an expert helping companies from the design perspective, even before the waste is maybe created. So what kind of tools do we have helping entrepreneurs, and how do you put in place, or what shall we expect? What's upcoming?
Thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to share with you some thoughts. And well, I think our role as enablers, I like so much this word because we are effectively try to enable something that is already out there. I mean, it has been there for millennia, or for 10,000 years, and we lost it, no? in the last 2 centuries, no? So the circular economy is something quite natural, because if you ask to your children or you explain what is circular economy to them, they are not surprised. I mean, we invented, as adults, we invented the waste concept, no? So I think our role as enablers is to try to unlock, to decrypt this complex maze that is the society we are living in. So I think until now we have been focusing on the technology side, and I think maybe we could have a sustainable world tomorrow, because the technology is very advanced. I think we are skipping the other two important approaches. There are the economics. We are quite ignorant about economics, and the human nature. So in some way, I think the most important part of our work is to understand local context, no? So about what we have to do in order to enable green entrepreneurs. In that case, as Burcu commented, in my company and in the project that I've been involved in SwitchMed, we have been creating and helping entrepreneurs with tools and methodology that strengthen their business side. I mean, for my experience in the last 6 years, green entrepreneurs are very passionate, very enthusiastic people, but they used to have a lack on the business side. So in some way, we create a methodology this spring that we are spreading, disseminating right now. I just came back from Lebanon and Jordan. And we try to agilize and make a lean approach to them, to make it easy and simple to understand it, to guide them in the business design creation. Because I think in some way, we need, as if we are in a struggling for convert a niche market in a mainstream, we have to be able to sophisticate much more our business model, because if you are just considering the conventional business model or business as usual models, we are not succeeding. I mean, we are fighting against slavery, against brutal exploitation of nature. So in some way, green entrepreneurs need to be encouraged and helped in sophisticate the business model in order to compete really with them. And I think is enough.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nicola.
Thank you.
We wanted to also have Ignasi's input. Thank you. Ignasi Cubiñá, but we are hearing that he's also an expert for Ecointelligent growth, very similar to Nicola's work helping on the policy issues, but I think he cannot join us. Oh, he's coming?
So I think the first thing you need to understand about a circular economy is how to build networks in a different way. I think the traditional way to build networks is not going to work on a circular economy model, because the kind of networks you need for circular economy is about trust. And there's very little trust in a linear economy. So the first thing you have to do is how to develop trust in a way that is non-conventional. So trust is about transparency. So ask your suppliers, ask your partners to be transparent with you. And I've been in the region for quite some time, by the way, all along the Mediterranean coast. And well, the Byzantine rules, they operate, and the way the people, they communicate and they share information needs to be changed. The same, by the way, in other regions. I think specifically in this region, the way of sharing information has to be changed dramatically, you know. Why is that? This is because circular economy is about dealing with assets, having an economy that is regenerating, and you need to have the right stakeholders that they understand that. It's not about dealing with waste. Waste is only a very, very, very little part of the circular economy thing. It's about developing new business models. It's about, building confidence. And we all know that this confidence is not at its highest right now, especially when we talk about different worlds and cultures and things like that. So the good news about the circular economy is that it's bringing an opportunity for a different culture, a business culture that is different from what we have been dealing with for the last 150 years. This is not the Industrial Revolution anymore. There's a big chance to understand things in a different way. And especially in the region, I think that most of the people is looking for money, is looking for financing support, is looking for technical background, is looking for this kind of stuff. Okay, all this is needed all over the world. What I think makes this region different from the others is the way that networks has to be built up. I'm a Spanish guy, I'm a Catalan, so I think we can play a bridge role in this kind of exchange of information between different cultures. I mean, how you go to a German company that is producing chemicals, is producing, dye stuff, and you ask them to share information with you? They're not going to do that. And this is key, this is critical for developing a sound circular economy model. So if I have something to tell you in this coffee break, is that, you should develop, the region has to develop his own way to develop trust and confidence. And this is about building networks in a more positive way. I give you just an example, and I leave it this way because I think you have a great exercise right now. We have developed an initiative that we call Fashion Positive. And Fashion Positive has a lot of implications in your region, because we're talking about textiles, we're talking about fabrics, we're talking about threads, we're talking about ingredients that are being used in the what we really call sustainable fashion. There's no such a thing as a sustainable fashion, by the way. There's not one single product that is really sustainable in the market right now. So we are all at the same, starting point. The good news for you is that I think there is a rebalance on the textile industry. I think there are beautiful opportunities for the region. But those opportunities, they have to be taken in a different way. They have to be taken in a way that when you produce textiles, when you produce fabrics, when you produce this kind of stuff, you need to do it in a way that is totally clean, it's totally healthy, it's totally safe, and it's totally positive for both the people, the end user, the business, and the environment. Okay? Thank you for joining me for this coffee break.
Ignasi, thank you for coming for 5 minutes,
Okay.
sharing with us.
Thank you.
Your conclusion, building trust is very important, is also the conclusion of WeShare Network. They have done a study on different business models. Thank you very much. And tomorrow they're going to share their conclusions. And one of the problems they are saying is also trust building.